In the Dark Ages, roughly 500 to 1000 CE in Europe, the consequences of killing someone varied greatly depending on where you were and who was involved. Social status, local customs, and the prevailing legal systems all influenced what would happen. Here are some general outcomes. 1. Blood feud or revenge. In many tribal societies, such as the Germanic or Viking cultures, killing could spark a blood feud between families or clans. Revenge killings could follow, leading to cycles of violence. These feuds could last for generations, especially in honor-based societies. 2. Weregild, man price. In some regions, particularly under Germanic law, there was a legal concept called weregild, where a fine or compensation was paid to the victim's family. The amount depended on the social status of the person killed, whether they were a noble, freeman, slave, and so on. This practice was an attempt to prevent blood feuds. 3. Trial by combat or ordeal. In some cases, disputes over killings could be resolved by trial by combat, where the accused might have to fight to prove innocence, or trial by ordeal, where they were subjected to painful tests, such as carrying hot iron, to let divine judgment decide their fate. The Church had growing influence during this time, and killing could be seen as a grave sin. Murderers might be required to perform acts of penance, such as pilgrimages, fasting, or giving alms. In Christian regions, forgiveness of sins could be sought, but punishment was still possible under secular law. In more centralized or organized kingdoms, like the Carolingian Empire or Anglo-Saxon England, the punishment for murder could include execution, particularly if the killer was a commoner or had violated the king's peace. Banishment was also a possible punishment, forcing the guilty person into exile. For nobles, killing in battle or in a justified duel might not lead to punishment, as warfare and personal combat were often seen as part of their social role. However, killing a noble without just cause could lead to severe penalties, including loss of lands and titles. Overall, the Dark Ages were a time when law and order were inconsistent, so the outcome of a murder was highly situational. The social, religious, and legal structures were in flux, and punishment for killing someone could range from nothing to lifelong exile or execution.